that. I want to thank my colleagues, Senator Kaine and Senator Blumenthal, who have also been such strong leaders on this issue. And I am here to say that what they are saying, Senator Murray, Senator Blumenthal, Senator Kaine, is right. We need to do something in this country to lower child care costs and increase its availability. And I pledge to my colleagues and to the American people that I will keep working with Senator Murray.
A Natural Resources Committee has been meeting in recent weeks with Chuck Schumer to try to come to terms on a slimmed-down reconciliation bill. Manchin has been convening a bipartisan group to discuss a potential energy and climate bill. A Manchin spokesperson said the West Virginia Democrat continues to work with his bipartisan colleagues to find solutions that address our nation's climate and energy needs. The Council of Economic Advisors has actually told CNBC that the Build Back Better bill was smart economic policy during a discussion about inflation and whether a recession was inevitable. She said she was on board with the administration's original claims that inflation was only transitory and is going to last and won't last forever. President Biden told reporters that there was nothing inevitable about a recession, and the Council of Economic Advisors chair further added that Biden was focusing on lowering gas prices in the short term. Folks, we have a ton of news about the fourth stimulus check, Social Security benefits, SSI, and SSDI. If you have any questions about this, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Stimulus programs are going to be approved very soon, and will stimulus checks be automatically deposited? Well, the bad news is that inflation just keeps coming. At more than 9% year on year, it has not been this high since 1980. There have also never been so many inflation surprises, where the data have come in higher than economists have forecast. This in turn is taking a heavy toll on the economy and financial markets. Central banks are raising interest rates, crushing equities, and consumer confidence in many places is lower than ever. But with paychecks stretched, budgets strained, and interest rate on the rise, there is still government help available. Temporary assistance for needy families is a major public assistance program that's federally funded and run by the states. How much you receive depends on the state. In Oklahoma, the max amount for an adult and 2 children can receive through cash assistance program is around $300 a month. A family of 3 in Washington state, assuming they have no other income, will get about $650 a month. If you're unable to pay your rent or utilities and believe you're in danger of eviction, the U.S. Treasury's Emergency Rental Assistance Program may also help. The program began back in the early days of the crisis and is still operating in many states. And now New Jersey is opening a state rental assistance lottery for nearly 2 weeks in July for low-income elderly residents and people. And also, if you're struggling to pay your heating or cooling costs, there is another program that could help. The Department of Health and Human Services oversees the Low-Income Home Energy Assistance Program, although each state decides whether a household is eligible for a cash grant. The agreement includes more money to help Californians pay their rent and utility bills. The announcement of the deal indicates Newsom's proposal to send $400 payments to vehicle owners is dead. Newsom has initially made the proposal to provide targeted relief from high gas prices that his administration said could be sent to Californians more quickly than payments to tax filers. But he said to get lawmakers to sign on to the idea. But he failed to get lawmakers to sign on to the idea. Newsom and other lawmakers called their agreement a framework for the 2023 and 2022 budget, meaning they will continue to work out the details on other aspects of the spending plan over the coming weeks. The budget will be the state's biggest ever, encompassing a record of $300 billion in spending. And citing the challenges of raising a family, particularly in the midst of the crisis and record inflation, Mitt Romney has introduced a plan to provide monthly payouts to working families with young children. Under this newly proposed Family Security Act 2.0, financial aid will be directly tied to number and ages of a family's children, with $350 for each young child per month and $250 for each school-aged child. The revised plan would also provide a $700 monthly sum to people expecting, and families will be eligible to apply for assistance 4 months before a child's due date. And according to the release from the Senator's office, the proposal will provide families with increased transparency on how much money to expect from the federal government and allowing them to receive the funds more quickly. The Family Security Act 2.0 will limit the amount of money given to families who do not meet a $10,000 earning threshold the year prior, reducing the financial aid proportionally to the amount earned, while curtailing the amount given to families that earn above the child tax credit income phase-out thresholds, which currently sit at around $200,000 for single filers. Folks, we have a ton of good news about the fourth stimulus check. And by the way, what do you think about President Biden and his work on this?
And causing prices to go up. And then once there were insolvencies, and IPOs really fell off. We got into the dot-com bubble. Now, things that survived from this are actually companies that we're all really used to today, which is Amazon.
Until we get something done to increase access to high-quality child care for working families. We all know today families pay more for child care than at any point in American history. Amazingly, sometimes families have to pay more for child care than they would pay for a mortgage. It's out of reach. And some people forget how the world has changed. When I was a kid, my dad had this little junkie exterminating business. My mom was what was then called a housewife. I got home from school every day at 3 o'clock, and there was Mom with milk and cookies, asking me what homework I had. Oh, I don't have any homework, Mom. And told me what time I had to come back home from going out and playing in the schoolyard for dinner. That doesn't happen anymore. The vast majority of families in America are either single parent or two parents both working. The percentage that have two parents, only one working, is minimal. So child care is now a necessity. It's a necessity for families. The anguish people go through to try and find child care. And then when it's not available or something happens, and what are they going to do? They're both working and scrambling. Who's going to watch the kids? It's agony. It's not this kind of agony that comes, you know, God forbid, once in a lifetime when you get a serious illness, but it's real agony and anxiety. We have to do something. And there's another reason we have to do something: our economy. You read all of the economic experts. We're short of labor. We're short of labor. You go to any business, small, medium, big, they're short of labor. Probably the number one or number two reason in the whole country we're short of labor is we don't have adequate child care. Moms or dads don't want to go to work because they don't know who's going to take care of the kids. Moms or dads stay home or retire or whatever. So our economy desperately needs this. When parents can't enter the workforce, particularly women, our country suffers as an economy, and productivity is greatly diminished. Of course, we need other issues to deal with in this economy as well that are related. Home and community-based services. People need a roof over their heads. We need to support families through paid leave. We made sure that every child in this country has a chance to grow and reach their potential, not in poverty. All of these issues are important. Child care is so important, so important. So I want to first thank again Senator Murray for her words. I want to thank my colleagues, two of our leaders on this issue, Senators Kaine and Blumenthal, are here today. And we want to pledge to the American people we are going to keep working